Hi everybody, thank you very much for watching my video poster. I'm Schelvis of the Musicology Department at the University of Amsterdam, here to discuss my research, 4DSOUND, a new technology, on the ontology of techno in space. My research question for this thesis was how can spatial sound technologies enhance our physical interaction with techno music? First of all, what is techno music? Techno comes from disco's demise in the late 1970s, early 1980s, and is based in a technological futurism. It's in the name. Techno is also a soundtrack of the industrial city of Detroit, and it's even a musical metaphor of its economic collapse. Techno today, however, is subject to heavy commercialization itself, despite activist undertones. Musically, it's diversified or splintered, but its 4/4 beat remains still at the heart of it. And this beat denotes its focus, namely danceability. What does techno do? To answer this question, we have to look at an embodied engagement with techno music, and doing so brought me to embodied music cognition, because this discipline conceives of the musical mind as mediated by the human body. So what happens in an embodied engagement with techno? First of all, there's rhythmic synchronization. My body starts to synchronize to the techno beat. How does it do so? Well, by way of expressive gesturing. So the standard or the most basic beat, the 4 to the floor, will impact my torso and I will start to move along. Then there's a centrifugal trajectory happening. Because more delicate sounds I will try to capture and express gesturally with my fingers, for instance the synthesizer sounds. This brings us to motivations for an embodied engagement with techno music. The why. Because there's an activating agency at play, which means that high volume and high tempo music, they will start to activate my body, and this spawns a lot of pleasure. And what is more, there is also an empowerment. If I have the sense of being in control through my expressive gesturing, being in control of the music, the acousmatic sounds, then this in me gives a sense of empowerment and also a sense of pleasure. Well then, returning to my research question, how can spatial sound technologies enhance our physical interaction with techno music? We're looking at spatialising techno. How does sound spatialization work? Well, it is based on the ability to localize sound in space. If there's, for instance, a sound here, this ear will pick it up earlier than this one, and my brain will process this time difference as this sound being right here or somewhere here. At the 4DSOUND's Spatial Sound Institute in Budapest, researchers and musicologists actually worked on this to create a grid of 24 omnidirectional speakers, and alongside the accompanying software, they can project very accurately sounds in space. So I went there to conduct my artistic research and compose a spatialized techno piece from which I will share my findings with you. Because when spatializing techno, we first have to consider what is techno and where does it come from? Well, since techno is based in a technological futurism, such a spatializing sound system quite fits the notion of this futurism. Then, when we ask what does techno do, there is a physical entrainment. Well, this brings us to the problem of volume. Because there is the paradox of spatialized techno in that when blasting techno in a spatialized setting, there is a loss of the spatial effects. So what happens is, if we go we'll pretty much blow away all of the spatial delicate effects. Then when we reconfigure techno so as to work on the spatial effects but lose the high volume beat, then we have a loss of the physical effect. So coming back to the research question once more, how can spatial sound technologies enhance our physical interaction with techno music? I unfortunately find that they cannot. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please ask them. I'm more than happy to discuss my research. Thank you. Moika.